Hi, Robin Hanson here again. I am going to be doing another video for you, and what I'm here to do today is some nail art, simple nail art. It's something that you can do quickly in a salon. It's pretty basic, yet it looks pretty spectacular. So if you want to just hang with me here for a little bit, I'm going to push pause and then set up the camera. But before I do that, if you haven't watched my videos before, I'll just mention again quickly that I own 4 pugs and they sit with me here in the salon, and I have to let you know they make a ton of noise. They snorkel, they moan, they groan, they snore like nobody's business, and worstly, they fart. And they fart like a human. They make noise that you just can't mistake. So I just got to put that out there because I don't want you to think it's me, because I don't do that for the camera. So anyway, here we go. We're going to push pause here for a sec, flip you over, and we're going to begin. Okay, here we are, and here are the nails that I'm going to be doing today. So just going to put my light back down now that I am no longer filming myself. And I'm going to show you the 3 different versions of the same nail. And then I'm going to do a demo on this one. So we have subtle, just daisies. I love daisies. They're simple, sort of taking up some of the nail here. I wanted to sort of put something on there that popped. And so I put some green foil down. These daisies, I will make note too, you're looking down on the daisy, so it's okay to put leaves with the daisies, but if you put stems, if you're really looking at it and you're looking down on a daisy, you don't really see the stems. So they're kind of looking almost like they're floating there, but technically the stems are below. So I favored this one the most, and this is the one I'm going to demo for you today. So I am going to just take these off to the side, and I'm going to put my already painted nail that's already fallen off, and I'm going to have to wipe that because my fingers were not so clean. Okay, so how does that look? Good? All right, perfect. So again, we are using Ugly Duckling 121. We have our Wildflowers top coat. We have our Wildflowers metallic top coat. We have our matte coat, which is a staple for hand painting. And we have our Wildflowers, oh, look at that, apple fine glitter. I love this stuff. We have our angry little brush. I'll be using the stylus, the Wildflower stylus again. It's so classy with the beads in there, what can I say? And our magenta brush and the blue brush. As well, I'll be using the gold puffy gel and the white pop-up gel. So what we're gonna do to start is we're going to put that glitter on the nail. Get the blue out of the way. What I did here was I've got two coats of the blue. Sorry, I could still see my fingerprints on there. And I tried it without putting any of the metallic top coat on, and it went on quite nicely. But for all intents and purposes for the video, I'm going to put it on just because I want to be sure that it goes where I want it to go. And as you can see, this is a bit polluted, this metallic top coat, and I'm using it in this case because I'm going to be putting glitter down anyway. So it doesn't really matter that my glitter be 100%, or my, sorry, metallic top coat be 100% clear. Okay, so let's put our glitter down, just make sure nothing comes off here. Get our angry brush. fuzzy brush. And you can see here, just by dabbing it in there, how much the little brush picks it up. And I'm wanting it to go along the left side. Now that I've touched the top coat, I'm going to pick it up more easily out of the lid. Okay, so I kind of just want it sort of kind of down the left side. And I'm going to put it back on my little tip protector and pop that bad boy in the light. And then I'm going to close the lid. I barely used any of the glitter. And you get so much when you order your glitter from Wildflowers. Again, this is the apple glitter. I just love it. I use it at Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, spring, and I use it quite easily with my little angry brush. Okay, so I'm going to be using the white pop-up gel, and I'm going to be using my stylist, have them handy here, and the magenta brush. As you can see, the brush is clean because I put it away clean. I'll put my lid over there. Whoop! Rolling down the hill. But before, actually that's funny, before I matte top coat, I'm going to run a quick metallic top coat over so that I don't pick up anything or move anything around with the matte. I don't believe that the matte would do anything because it's more with the particle chromes, like with the smaller particles. But this is pretty small, so I don't want to take any chances because I don't really want the chrome to be anywhere but all over. I don't want it kind of in patches. It really doesn't matter. It's not rocket science here. I'm probably fussing over nothing, but going to just cure that for a 30-second, and then I'm going to put my matte top coat on. And I'm only going to put on enough so that I can't see my streaks. Matte is the best medium to hand paint on. If you're painting on a no white top coat, what'll happen is your brush sometimes skids or skips. So I see my line of light has got a little bump in there from some of the glitter. So I put a little bit more on, and I'm going to turn it upside down and have it sort of pull to the center and top of the nail before I put it in. Because I don't really want any bumps when I'm painting either. Just going to pop that in the light. So I reckon these flowers to be much like a daisy. So I picked out a gold puffy gel to go in the center when we get down to that portion of the nail. I just want to make sure that my mat is completely dry. So we don't want to have any glossy parts. We want it all consistent. And that's what we've got. So I am ready to go. And this is really quite simple and can be done quite quickly. So you've got your stylus, and I'm going to use, in this case, the end with the little bump on it. And I'll bring you in a little closer so that you can watch. So we're going to apply our dots just quite simply onto the nail. We're going to drop it down and pull it up because there's going to be a tail when you're using the puffy gel. Now we want our dots close together, and we want a big circle, because what we're going to do is we're going to pull our paintbrush from the dot and pull it to the center. And anybody can do this, and they look really quite fantastic in my point of view. Quick, down and dirty. Okay, and we want one over in this corner, sort of to balance. And again, our dots are close. They're not touching, and with the puffy gel, you got to be careful not to get too close because they will blend together. But it isn't going anywhere once you set it. And then I'm going to do a small one here. You can see the tail that comes up. So if I just pull straight off the top, then the tail will almost snap back into my dot and not drag over the nail. And then I'm going to do a small flower here. And I'm going to put all my dots down really quick. My circle is smaller, and that's going to make the flower smaller. Of course, that's pretty straightforward, but okay. You can hear the dog snoring over there. In yesterday's video, they were dry heaving, which was such a pleasant sound. So finished with that, just going to put that off to the side. And then I'm going to show you. So what you're doing here is you're going to be taking the tip of your brush into the dot and pulling it to the center. So basically you're trying to make it look like a daisy petal. And then you just keep going around, pulling them in. You don't have to be too fussy. This is where it gets to be time saving. Quick design. And then back over here. And if you're not quite getting your line, you can always go back to the center and just pull from the center. You're always pulling from the center dot. And then over here, oh, I should have started over here. This side doesn't matter really. And then up to this little guy here. I'm going to make the petals just a bit more defined. And you can have your client flip her hand over and present the nail to you face forward if that makes it easier. But always keep your baby finger anchored, because that'll stop your hand from shaking. So look at that. Pretty cool, hey? So I'm going to cure that. And while we're curing that, I'm going to put the lid on my puffy gel. Oh, not my puffy, sorry, my pop-up. And try to get the lid off my pop-up gel, my puffy gel. So here's the puffy gel. And it's pretty firm, the gold especially. The yellow's not quite as stiff as this, but they are designed not to move. So I'm going to keep the focus where it's at. Oops. What I want to do though is I want to take off the white, clean off my stylus, both ends, just in case I dip, because that wouldn't be unlike me. Okay, so I'm just going to take the thinner end of my stylus and I'm going to take just a little bit. So I want to just place it circular in the center. Dab a little bit more. Come over here. and to this flower. And then over to this flower. Last but not least. So with this design, when the client looks at her hand, she gets to see the daisies. And when, you know, people see the hand, they get to see the daisies as well. I think they're pretty well balanced on the nail. So I'm going to pop that in and cure that up. I'm going to put the lid on my pop-up gel, tighten it. Put the lid on my puffy gel. And then I'm going to take my tile, just put it in the edge of the screen there. Because what I want to do is I want to put just a little bit of the top coat on the palette there. Now you could always do it on the edge of the bottle if you wanted. It's not a great big huge edge, but it would still work. There's all sorts of different palettes that you can get. This was simply found, and I think $2 is what I paid for it. Easy peasy. And in this case, I'm going to use, oops, nail down. I'm going to use the blue brush. Oh, look at that, a pug hair. Oh, surprise. Okay, I'm going to use this brush. Now, why that is because I want to see in the nail, oops, oh, darn magnets. This is my other one, but if you could see here, I've got some of the sparkle acting differently than it is on the matte, and that's because I've got a glossy top coat on the flower, and I put it on in its entirety because I wanted the center to sparkle. Where the rest of the nail is matte, I've left it matte, but in the flowers pop out a little bit more, just with the help of a little bit of top coat. So I'm just going to sort of saturate the brush. I mean, you could, if you wanted, paint each individual petal, but in the salon, time is money. So, you know, getting a little thicker brush and getting your top coat. It's funny, I thought I had matte there. And just painting the center of the flower. You can see, and I was out of focus there, that the shiny top coat is making the center of the flower sparkle, which I think just sweetens it up a little bit. Matte is nice, but I'm like a little bit of the bling girl. I like my bling. I think that's kind of obvious. So does my husband. Proud to say that he has bought each and every one of my rings. Okay, so the matte is already sealed. So when I pop it into the light, all I'm going to be processing is the shiny that I just cured the pop-up gel, or the puffy gel. Pop-up and puffy. So I'm just going to pop that into the light. Haha, lots of pops here. And cure it. And then I'm going to be done. Nice quick little session. A quick little design for the salon. You can do it in any color, as I showed in the other designs. I've kind of got it a little subtle on pink. Nothing, you know, electric around the flowers. You could do a white nail with that, or white nails and just have a feature nail as pink. This one here, just a little bit more electric, where we've got the green foil, but you don't have to go there if you don't want to. And then, of course, we have our matte blue with green apple glitter and white and gold daisies. I think they look stunning. And you could do white nails with this, white or blue, that accompany this. that is it. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments field. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.